at the Nerd Table, coming at it one more time with your episode 7, Daredevil. We have a lot to talk about. We got a lot to get into. Let's go. I promise y'all, I'm going to get it together for the rest of this episode, so we're good. No more mistakes by Larry. At least I'm going to try my best not to. But hey, look, the good thing is, even if I do make a mistake, I got my boys with me that's going to go ahead and fix it all up. So to start it all off, here we go. Mike Murdoch in the building. What's happening, brother?
Hello there. No guarantees on my end. Wild card, baby.
And we have, hold on, let me give, there's a real announcement. And we have from Baby Gorilla Comics, Jose.
Thank you. I appreciate the love. That's some WWE type announcement there, buddy.
Yeah, that's what I do, bro. It's what I do. You know,
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it.
I'm gonna try to bring the excitement, bring the juice. You know, okay, I'll stop. Sorry, people. But we're right back at it. Just so we could go ahead and talk about Daredevil episode 7. But just in case, before we get into all the nuts and the bolts of that episode,
we are ready.
It was amazing. Absolutely amazing. It's something important that we definitely need to go ahead and talk about, because this current news, kind of breaking news here, just happened just the other day. We want to go ahead and just give a lot of love and support to the family of Mr. Val Kilmer. Mr. Val Kilmer passed away on the 1st of April. And what makes it so bad is that that morning, my wife walked over to me and said, "Hey, did you hear that Dennis Rodman died?" And it was like, "Oh man, that's messed up." And come to find out, it was the April Fool's hoax. Therefore, like, all right, no problem. And then soon afterwards, we heard about Val Kilmer. And I was like, okay, it gotta be another hoax. How many other people are they going to say that's going to pass away today? April 1st. I can't wait for this day to be over. And then come to find out that actually did happen. So just want to give love and support to the family of Val Kilmer, just honoring the legacy of Val Kilmer. Guys, I'm gonna open this up to y'all guys. What do y'all guys want to say just to honor the man and his legacy?
He's just one of those actors that growing up, he was just constantly there. Between obviously, I grew up in a house that was very big on George Lucas, so Willow was huge in my house. We had these little Willow action figures, and there was a Mad Mardigan that like rode on a horse. So Val Kilmer has been part of my childhood, going all the way from what is it? Ghost in the Darkness, Island of Dr. Monroe, The Saint, Heat. You can't beat Heat. And then going, of course, into Batman Forever, which is celebrating its 30th anniversary this year, I believe. Which
that is correct.
Yeah, that was one of the 3 Batmanias I was luckily a part of. I was part of the '89 Batmania, and then Batman Forever hit, and you couldn't escape it. And I was very lucky to be part of it. I saw Batman Forever at the Oxford Valley GCC Theater, and they had the entire theater decked out as like Gotham City. There was like cardboard cutouts, and I think he gets a bum rap for being in Batman Forever, but I think he played an amazing Bruce Wayne. And let's talk about those McDonald's glasses, right? That will always be a part of my childhood. I still have mine. I still have them. I still use them.
Not surprised.
Surprised.
Godspeed, Forever Dark Knight. Godspeed.
Yeah, I mean, Val Kilmer was a great actor. He did a lot of great movies in my time. I will always remember him for Iceman and Top Gun. That was my movie as a kid, popping that into VHS. Look it up. You can Google VHS. and VHS player. But yes, I watched that on VHS, and oh my god, I burnt that VHS tape out. And yeah, Batman Forever. He will always be a Batman forever. So rest in peace to Mr. Kilmore, Val Kilmer.
Yeah, I bet the three of us are the only ones that probably all had aviator shades the same year.
Sure did.
Well, I had him, with the family. My dad always wore them, and I couldn't get them for him. But always at the rinky-dink dollar store.
But Iceman made him look so cool.
You ain't lying, bro. But you know what? It's y'all guys go ahead and mention Dark Knight. That makes sense. I mean Batman always.
Mm-hmm.
For me, Tombstone was my movie.
Oh yeah, dude. There's just so many.
Yeah, it really is. But that was the movie for me that made me like, who is that guy? Like, who is that guy? I'm your Huckleberry. Oh, that's just my game. Like, he was amazing in that movie. Probably one of my all-time
that has like such a special place. That was like my dad's favorite movie. In fact, like the year anniversary he passed, like that was what I watched. It was Tombstone, and I try to watch it just about every year in remembrance of my dad. It's a very special movie to me.
He left a huge legacy, and he will be missed, and he will be remembered for a very, very long time.
Absolutely. So once again, rest in peace, my friend. Job well done all across the board. As a Val Kilmer, we appreciate everything that you contributed to all of our lives, in all honesty. So rest well, rest in glory, and thank you for the long-lasting memories. I mean, Mike, it's got finished saying there's something that man by himself, you have a connection with him forever because of the connection with you and your father.
Mm-hmm,
I mean,
exactly.
That's you can't make that stuff up. That's
and like that. The three of us all lived through like the Top Gun craze. Like
yeah,
I was a little kid in like preschool, but I had a bomber jacket.
Yeah. So yeah, Mr. Val Kilmer, appreciate everything that you done and brought to the world of entertainment. Definitely appreciate you. All right, so enough about that. No more sad news. We got some exciting conversations to have, and has everything to do with this Daredevil episode number 7. What an amazing episode. Before we go into the details, when that show was over for episode 7, what was your mindset? What was y'all thinking? Like
when it was over?
Yes.
And when episode 7 went black. And
it's honestly what went through my head was, damn, there's only 2 more episodes left.
Yeah,
exactly.
I'm like, there's only 2 more episodes, and then we got Thunderbolts next, and then we got Superman and Fantastic Four. But other than that, like, what else?
We'll find something to talk about. We'll find something.
Two episodes left, and where do we begin? Well,
right now we're going to begin at episode 7, right in the very, very beginning. So, Jose, you're my, you're going to be our field director. You're going to be directing us to exactly where we need to go, because you have your list. I know you checked it twice. I know you already know that the show is naughty and nice. So I just need you to go ahead and just break it all down, brother.
Yeah, brother, man. We start right in with Fist talking to Buck, and we get a little snippet, and he's talking about, what do you see in this city? And you see fear, and you see this, and they're saying, I see a Starbucks, and Fist is like, I see fear, and I see this, and I see that. Mm-hmm. His mind is warped. I don't know about you guys, but this dude is delusional.
Yeah.
He has a warped sense of reality.
For sure. I'll touch on it later too, but he definitely writes his own history.
Larry.
He writes his own history.
I know what you're thinking, Larry. I got proof, brother. Just stay with me.
I'm with you.
Stay with me, brother.
I am with you. Here's my question: is he delusional, or he's so manufactured into looking at things his way that it's almost like he has his third eye on the pulse of the city?
I think he's writing his own narrative to his own story that fits his agenda.
Interesting. Okay, because
Yeah.
I will ask you just out of curiosity, and we don't have to give this answer right now. It's cool, but just out of curiosity, if you were to pull Matt Murdock right here in this episode of good old GNT, that's going to be posting our podcast all the time on YouTube as well as Spotify and Apple. Okay, if Mr. Murdoch was to jump right here on the screen, and you was to ask him, "Hey Matt, what do you see in the city?" He will probably say the same thing that Fist said.
He would, because that's what they see. That's what he knows, and that's what this episode shows you is his struggle, and he's struggling with who he wants to be and who he is.
Yes. Yes. And I'm sure we're going to get more into that too. It's just a matter of where this goes. Because I know I know your list, bro. So I know I know we're going to go down this rabbit hole real crazy, but that's why we're here. We're here to go down this rabbit hole.
So Fist plainly asks, he goes, Daredevil saved her. And he ends with, he's back. And then you cut to the beginning of that montage of the city crumbling to rebuild itself in the form of Daredevil looking like a samurai. That is a great intro. We don't talk enough about that.
I agree.
That intro is fire. Like, the city is crumbling, and then you see it, the piece of Matt horn, Daredevil's horn, starting to crawl back up. And it really looks like an old, like, Japanese samurai when the stone comes back up, and the armor it just looks badass. So whoever came up with that and the music, props to you. Fantastic job.
Absolutely. And I like that at the very last second, that last piece of horn that he's holding, that he always holds in his hand, that what pops up last. And then it fades black. Oh, perfect.
Yes, it was.
Perfect. Okay.
And then we start with Angela laying in the hospital, reliving her trauma of what happened. And all she hears is, I'm here. At that moment, I'm thinking she knows who Daredevil is. Only for that moment, I thought that. But at that moment, I'm like, she puts Matt Murdock's voice together. He doesn't change his voice.
Right.
He has a very distinct voice. And he goes, I'm here. So did y'all catch that, or just me?
I've been catching, like, he's getting like real sloppy with the secret identity thing.
Yes. Yeah, he has been. And it's something I've noticed throughout the season that he's been doing is he's just dropping little hints.
It's like the lines beginning to like blur for him.
And then where do we cut into?
Well, I want to talk before we go there. I want to talk. Can we also talk like how bad like Angela looks? Or what's her name's Angela, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because she lost all that blood. And like, they're not just like, it's okay, she's in the hospital. No, she looks like crap, which kind of makes me wonder, like, if she is going to turn into the White Tiger by the end of the season, or she's going to, like, just because she's going to take a minute to recover for sure.
She'll be fine.
Yeah.
Like speaking from like a person that's lost a ton of blood in the past, I'm not going to get into why, but I did. And you recover fast. Blood.
Okay.
Yeah, they make you eat a lot of sweets because sugar helps your blood, I guess, grow more, or you know, whatever. I'm not a doctor, but no, I think they're definitely. She's destined for something else. She's going to be around. She's not going anywhere. I wouldn't even be surprised if you see her as the White Tiger in the Young Avengers, in the West Coast Avengers. I could see that too. But they planted seeds in this episode for what I think, well, definitely confirmed something I said 3 episodes ago as far as one person becoming a villain. You saw that happen.
Absolutely.
And there's something else that is a question I will ask at the end. That is just a question. I'm not hooked on it. I'm not like, it's just something that ran through my head when I saw it. But yeah, we jump into that spot and it's She-Hulk all over again.
Yep.
Matt's getting his groove back like Stella.
Yeah, they jump into that steamy shower scene.
Dude, and I remember we were talking about that. I'm like, I don't think they're gonna go that route and show like that romance side in this show. The hell if I was wrong. And they dropped the F-bomb again.
Yep. Well, that's the thing. Like, not that I was looking, but Matt's messed up, dude. He's got scars and bruises. Like, obviously, he's been through it.
Absolutely, and it's crazy because I was in, and correct me if I'm wrong. Here's me just trying to get into the psyche of Matt Murdock. I think the only reason why that went down the way that it did is because of the fact that she saw him bruised, and that was his way of shutting her up.
Yep.
Yes. Like when she saw him bruised, like as soon as she touched him, he knew. He turned around and just felt her face and caressed her. But that whole shower scene leads right into their conversation between Heather and Matt when they're in the bed, and she's speculating. Well, what happened? First you went through the bank robbery. Now you have this bruise. What do you think is going on in her mind right now?
She's questioning everything.
Dude, you got Matt Murdock, a lawyer, arguing with his girlfriend, a flippin' psychiatrist. Like, she's gonna see through you, bro.
And she goes, I'm scared of you harming yourself. And he laughs, he smirks.
Yes.
It's not the first time in this episode. It's not the last time in this episode where he smirks, and it's like a condescending type smirk. Like, it's like, come on, I'm Daredevil. Like, you're worried about me banging into things. Like, he has a cockiness about him in this episode. And you see it again in The Office when he talks to Jerry, and we'll get into that. But in that show, when he gets caught lying and he goes, what do you want me to I went for a walk. That's embarrassing. They start talking in the bed and he jokes around and he goes, Dr. Glenn, and she starts laughing because he goes to psychiatrist. She says, I love you, Matt.
I was going to mention that too. Yeah.
Matt says it back.
He hesitates.
Did he mean it?
Nope.
I don't know. But did you peep right after she asks what happened? He listened to her heartbeat.
I did not catch that.
As soon as she was talking, the heartbeat start playing in the background. So he was listening to her heartbeat. So when she said it, he knew that she was telling the truth.
Bingo. And that's what made me think like he was lying.
I did not catch that. I gotta fix my surround sound.
Right now, bro. But because that heartbeat sound continued on into the very next scene. But that was important because I think a part of him don't want to be caught up into it. So if it was true for him, he had to know for sure it was true for her.
That makes sense. What I took out of that scene was she says something along the lines of like, you're tamping down your trauma so hard that it's tainting everything good in your life. And I'm like, gosh, man, it's true. Like, and he calls the relationship and was fake.
Yeah,
and I was like,
exactly. He said
like this feels fake to me, and I'm like, ooh, that hurts.
Yeah.
But it's because he's so used to Karen and Foggy's life, and he hasn't dealt with that. So he's putting on this facade. And that line really hit. And she also says, he says, well, I'm fighting to like get better or something like that. And she says, which I'm going to take this for the rest of my life, but she says, it's not a fight, it's a process. And I was like, ooh, that's a good one too.
Yeah, that was a good one. But yeah, he's like, I feel like I'm living a lie. And she took that like, oh, this is fake
Right.
at first. And he knew. He goes, no, I'm not saying that. But he's struggling with who he is, whether he's Matt, and he's dealing with the process of whether he wants to go back to his old life of Daredevil, or he wants to lay.
Oh no.
So he'll be back in a second.
Yeah, exactly.
One of the biggest things,
Back a few minutes later of the episode, it just completely flips for him, you know. But yeah, my biggest question was, did he mean it? I didn't think he meant it. I think he was just giving her lip service.
See, yeah, I think we're on the same page, right?
Yeah,
right.
Okay, Mike.
It's 3-3. He didn't mean it.
I actually think he did.
Okay.
A part of me really think that he did. I think he was afraid to go ahead and admit that to her. You know, because the fact that he don't want to open himself up. Because just think about it, the people that he opened himself up with in that type of way, every single one of them was gone in some kind of way. Every single one of them. There's only one person that actually know his true identity when it comes to him being Daredevil, is giving him flack like crazy, which is the upcoming scene that Jose you was kind of
exactly.
You know, Jerry. So he has nobody. He literally has no one that he can go to. It's all this is on his shoulder. Where before he was able to go ahead and at least release some of this pressure that he had on him with Foggy and with Karen, but he has no one right now. So therefore, all that's on his shoulder. That's why he's like, yeah, I feel like I'm living a lie, because literally I have no one to talk to about this. I feel like I'm by myself. I'm literally living a lie. I have no one to
shoot. At this point, he's not even talking to God. Like, at least he had prayer before, and like he doesn't even have that. Holy smokes!
Yeah. And that leads him right into the office when he walks in, and Jerry's waiting for him to confront him.
Yep.
and Jerry's like, "What the hell, dude? I thought you were gonna step out of this." And you know, the biggest thing I took out of that conversation was Matt was cocky as hell. Matt had a smirk on his face. You know, you didn't have a problem with it last time. When you needed me, you called me. It wasn't, but he was smirking like he enjoyed this. Like, to me, it just was like braggadocious. It was very cocky. I don't know how you guys felt.
No, totally. I have it written down here where it's like Matt says to his face, "It's in moments like this y'all would have called Daredevil." Like, I was like, "Ooh, that's harsh."
I didn't recognize Matt in that scene. That was a different Matt to me. Because there's no one keeping him grounded and humble in the situation. And the problem is that he succeeded in his task as Daredevil. He succeeded. So therefore it's like, well, I'm Daredevil. I saved her. Why are you complaining, bro? And that was kind of like the thing that he was kind of getting at. And it was just like, that's not very Matt Murdock from before. So this is something different. So he's either showing a whole lot of pain or, like you said, a whole lot of cockiness, because of the fact that look at this. I just came back. I'm rusty, and I saved this girl's life. But we all know he cares about this girl, so it all makes sense. But
I think that is a perfect lead into the conversation with him and Buck when they're in the mayor's office, and they tell you exactly who Matt or Daredevil is in that conversation. If you read between the lines, they tell you what Matt's been up to for the last 6 years since the last season, the 4th season of Daredevil. Fisk tells him he's been gone for 10 years. For 10 years, in the last 10 years, he took down my infrastructure.
Yeah.
He took down blue collar workers that were making millions, but it was all in the corrupt organization. He goes, he's been beating them, breaking their bones, shattering their bodies, doing everything pretty much but killing them.
Mm-hmm.
He's Frank Castle. The only thing he's not doing is killing them. He just told you what Daredevil's been up to for the last 6 years. He goes, for the last 10 years, I'm repeating myself. He's been taking down, he took down an infrastructure that it took me 10 years to build. So in the last few years that we haven't seen Daredevil from Netflix to down Disney, that's what you can imagine. At least that's what I'm taking away from it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he was doing this entire time, that he hasn't been seen because Netflix canceled him.
That's the moment where
think?
Yeah,
that's the moment.
No, go ahead, Mike. You good?
That's the moment where I feel like Kingpin really starts to like twist the truth, and he starts to justify his evil deeds, because he's like, well, I made these blue collar workers rich, and I had this vast empire, and it was amazing. Dude, you were killing people, you were selling drugs, you were doing loans, like you were doing these terrible things, and he acts like he's the king of the everyman, and like, dude, you weren't, you were hurting people. He just kind of, the ends justify the means for him, and
Exactly.
Matt took that down, but
it brings me back to the point I made in the beginning, where he's delusional. He lives in his own world. He's
totally
making up his own reality. That what happened between him and Buck showed that in that delivery. Like, I built this empire. I made people rich. I had the blue collar workers millionaires, and that's how he twisted reality. He didn't see, like you said, he didn't see that he was hurting people and people were dying, and he made people rich, but he also killed people by selling these drugs and killing people for territory. He skewed his reality to fit his agenda.
Another thing too. I mean, we hear this all the time. Every villain is a hero in their story, and clearly, and listen to that conversation that he had with Buck. Clearly, he feels as though that he is the hero in that story, and that situation with those things that's going on in the city. He was their savior. He was their hero, and and it's his point of view of it, and it's accurate in his mind, which is going to be thrown off to everybody else. Like, it's just off. But clearly, he thinks he's definitely a hero in this story.
And in that conversation, he also it brings you back to the conversation he had with Matt at the diner, where he said, as long as you don't put on the mask, there won't be a problem. And Matt said, don't give me a reason to put on the mask. He hasn't given, Kingpin technically has not given Matt a reason to put on the mask. The police department gave him a reason to put the mask back on. But Fisk told him, if you put the mask on, you're a vigilante. We will not tolerate that. Matt crossed the line. So this this conversation, this episode sets up what I think everyone expects to happen at the end of this season, which we'll talk about at the end.
Mm-hmm.
But what you guys think?
Yeah, it's funny because a part of me is like, well, technically, he's the mayor. He should have stopped Muse as fast as he possibly could. So technically, he is the reason why I got to put this mask back on.
Yeah.
But in the same token, both of their minds are skewed. They're looking for an excuse. What Matt was looking for an excuse to go back in that direction. And even though he didn't want to, but he was looking for an excuse to go back. Kingpin looking for an excuse for him to go back. So it's like they can use whatever excuses they want. They was going to go back in that direction. It's just to be a matter of who you going to point the finger at. It's just like what the Spider-Man picture again.
Yeah.
It's your fault. It's your fault. It's my fault. No, it's your fault. So
from dark to light and light to dark.
Absolutely.
Bingo.
It was an unstoppable thing that was going to happen. It's just a matter of what are you going to think that's going to be the reason why it happens. It's going to be all skewed in their minds. If Daredevil didn't put on that girl would have died. You know what I mean? And his new girl would have died.
Maybe the cops would have been more helpful if he hadn't taken away all the OT.
Where Buck to get, yeah, you can use the law to get what you need to get done. You don't have to go back to the old ways. So that's why he created the vigilante task force. Now that Daredevil put on the mask, he's going to use the law to turn them against each other. But that breaks all the way into that, goes right directly into that to, Daredevil or Matt this time talking to Angelica in the hospital, and he's playing detective. He's asking all these questions.
Mm-hmm. Yo, and she calls Muse's lair the murder basement, and I was like, oof, that's a nasty term.
I don't think there was much to take away from that scene except for the portraits on the wall and the fact that Matt said, if the police don't do something, someone will.
Right. Yeah.
He said that to her twice. Daredevil already came out once to help her and save her. Now he came out to kill Muse. Well, technically he didn't. Heather did. But we're jumping forward. But yeah, so that's all that happened. And then you go right into that alley, I don't know, train station.
Is it like the docks, I guess?
Yeah, with Vanessa and Luca.
Yeah, and she's standing there like you could tell she's up to no good. What do you got, Larry?
It's a question that's with them too. That's at the end of the episode.
Yeah.
I'll wait.
Yeah, we'll say that one.
Yeah,
we'll say that one. But she plays right into them, and we all have our suspicions, but she's asking like, she's not, the tariff or the taxes on me, like I put that through, and he's like, oh, I like the things when they were young or how they were before, and we were earning money with you. So he's building her up. And she's like, well, you asking for permission or help? And he doesn't quite say exactly what it is, but we all know. And I won't put a pin in my whole thoughts on this until the end of the episode.
You should. All I will say is Luca got some big cojones.
Did a guy in a tracksuit? Yeah.
Yeah, tracksuit mafia over here. You're asking a woman to betray her husband, and she knows what this man is capable of. Do you think she's gonna betray her husband? I don't know. We're gonna find out. Just saying. Just saying.
And it's funny because when that happened, Mike, you just mentioned it. When that happened in that scene, and he said that to her, it reminded me of exactly what what Punisher was talking to Matt about. Same thing.
Oh, that's right. He does
Yeah,
ask him that.
yeah,
Holy smokes.
yeah. Are you looking for permission?
Yep.
Or it's almost the same exact thing.
It's a nice callback.
Yeah, everyone's kind of going back to their ways. Holy smokes. Yeah.
Yeah, everybody's being born again into their role. It's just a matter of
You said it. You
who's
said the thing.
Yep. Born again.
But it's a matter of who is going to make it back. And we're going to get back into
Yeah,
get back to that at the end.
That's at the bottom of my page here.
Yeah. It's like, who's going to make it back to being born again? Because okay,
well, someone got born again right after this scene, because we get a knock on the door, and
this wackadoo.
Heather opens the door, and who's there?
Mr. Bastion
Our
himself.
boy, Sebastian. Mr. Muse, who my wife was watching the episode with me and thought that was Evan Peterson.
Yeah, bingo.
Oh, that's it.
I'm like, really, babe? But it was funny for me that she said that.
It's funny because I knew I knew the actor because he was the same guy that played in Wednesday.
Oh, that's right.
Right.
I knew he looked familiar.
Right. So I was already used to, because of Wednesday, I'm already used to him being a freaky weird character. So I'm like, oh, look at that. Like go figure, another freaky weird character.
He did a great job, though. He did a fantastic job.
Yo, can we talk about how much of a wackadoo he is? That dude was 302 several times. They're like, we just kept putting him in the hospital. He was too crazy. They were like, we just under his without his permission. I'm like, dude, you put him in the hospital.
Yeah.
On watch.
He's gonna be upset a little bit.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
But man, that conversation with him and her, and he's like, you're the reason. And he gets so excited when he starts talking about she's the reason why, and she unlocked his thoughts, and he starts bleeding, and he wipes his nose, and then he just takes it. I mean, he ain't had that much damn blood to draw that picture, but I'm just saying, the effects, Disney effects, and he draws the Muse face, and she knew. She goes, oh, the city has been posting, he says the city's noticed. Mm-hmm. And she's just like, oh, you've been posting your artwork. And he goes, yeah. And she goes, what's the mask? Oh, I can tell by the look in your eyes, the fear you have. And boom, the chase is on.
He said something like, you're estimating if you can run out this door without me getting it. Like something like that. I'm like, holy crap.
I felt like getting up and trying to run to the door, see if I could beat him. But, then I remember I'm a
take that high heel and aim in the middle. Just one kick.
Dude, he's so crazy. He probably wouldn't have felt it.
Nah. Yeah. But what was it Matt said about him going for his he didn't call it an end game. He said but him getting desperate and trying to go for his big
finale.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And going for her.
That kind of went simultaneous. That conversation Matt was having with Ayala, and that scene and Fisk's conversation were all happening at the same time. Fisk's conversation with Detective Kim and the whole thing, but he tied her up and then he cut her. I'm like, oh, he's gonna do a live portrait. And then
nope, no thank you.
He hears
Dude, I couldn't even watch him. I was like, oh, he's just gonna poke her with a needle, but I'm like, nope. Dude, he kept going. I'm like,
I guess you can't take the sight of blood, Mike.
Nah, dude, nah.
Mike's voice dropped like 5 octaves.
Yeah, it really did.
No.
No, he turned to Dr. Evil like,
No.
anyway.
At the same time that's going on, you have the conversation with him and Detective Kim.
Yeah.
And she's telling him about Sebastian, and like Mike was saying, he goes, he's been institutionalized and everything. And his rap record, his rap sheet and everything like that. All right, first off, Disney messed up on this spot because they said his parents moved in his teacher at 16 to teach him Taekwondo. The teacher was dead 3 months later, right?
Yeah.
How the hell he hold his own with Daredevil with 3 months of Taekwondo?
Extensive training. You don't understand. His Taekwondo teacher was Don King. All right, like.
He had some speed training. It was like when you train to be in a Marvel movie and you got to put on like 500 pounds of muscle in 6 weeks.
Eat chicken, bro.
Yeah. But that was my only take on that. But that conversation, as he's having that, and then Matt breaks through the window. But I just wanted to point out at that moment when Dr. Kim, Jesus Christ, when Detective Kim says, "Oh yeah, he was definitely there," and she smiled like she was happy that Daredevil was there. Did you notice how Fisk just changed his whole mentality and he was like, "You can leave now"?
No,
I did.
I didn't put that together.
Yo, I have a question.
Yeah.
Yes.
What would be your question, my friend?
Hey, George, what do you think about that part?
There he is.
George Cass on the building.
How'd you just throw me in there like that?
Yeah, that's what I do.
Just go for it, bro. Just go for it.
Who we talking about? No, I was kidding.
Shh, we can't talk about George anymore.
We're talking about Miss Marvel, episode 3.
Oh yeah, that one was fantastic. My God,
so great, so great.
The Bollywood episode. Anyway.
Yeah, brother, you just jumped in on our conversation.
I know. I like to pop up and just check up on you guys.
We are at the Dr. Glenn meets Muse moment.
Yeah, when Detective Kim conversation with Fisk at the same time. When she smiles and like, oh, he was there, ha 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 ha, and he turns completely, his whole attitude changes, and he goes, "You can leave, Detective Kim.
Yeah,
you served your purpose."
Dude sitting there like, I know this boy didn't just do what he said he wasn't gonna do.
Yeah.
And guess what happens? He jumps right in there and he does the Daredevil thing, and Outfits is like, all right, time to change the tactics up now because I can see something's coming down the pipeline.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Now, here's my thing, Jose, and team. Now I can say team. Quick question: if Fisk wasn't Mayor Fisk and he was Kingpin, he would have hired Muse, right?
Oh, of course, I think so.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So it's almost that battle as well. It's almost like like I have to make face for me to be the mayor in the city, but the other side of me would have brung him in, and he would have been a partner of mine. Like behind the scenes, I need you to take this person out.
I think it's got to do with the fact that he got his behind beat by a vigilante, and now he's just like, all vigilantes are bad.
And it sounds exactly like that.
We can't have that in the city of New York.
You gotta do the fingers.
But yeah, I think it's just he got trashed by a Daredevil. He almost got beat by Hawkeye and what's her face?
Echo.
And Echo. Echo, I don't really see too much of as a vigilante, but I mean, we know Hawkeye for Avengers, and he did some whooping on him. Give him a good fight though. But yeah, I think he's got bad blood with these vigilantes and these heroes and so on and so forth. And he's like, no, not in my house, not in my city. And now he's gonna go against them.
That boy got some PTSD from Daredevil whooping him.
That's what I think.
Understatement. Understatement.
He got some DDPTSD.
Yes, he does.
I'm saying
He
that
does.
5 times fast.
Yo,
But yeah,
exactly.
you go right into that office. Daredevil swings in like Batman, right through the
he
window.
does. I want to back it up 1 second because
Go for it, brother.
we got where Daredevil is hanging out in the murder cave, and he's going through all the pictures and he's looking at the things, and up in the corner, I don't know if you called it, there was the like blood sketch of the Punisher triggered mural that was there, and then Punisher, he takes his glove off and he starts rubbing things with his hands, and I'm like, dude,
You mean Daredevil?
how are you doing that? Like, you're dropping fingerprints. Like, come on.
I don't even think he's about it at this point.
It just pays back to when he was rubbing her face, because that's like a sign. From my understanding, when you do that, it's to tell the person they're beautiful.
Exactly.
In sign language, they rub the face to tell them they're beautiful. So he and they memorize what your face looks like through their touch. So he had the right. It's BS. It's blood. There's no way he could tell her. But the
one he found was it was like chunky blood.
Yeah, the one he found was
like he found
textured.
Because there was a bunch of them that had her face. I'm like, that looks like her, but they all looked like not as much blood. This exactly. This one was layered.
Yeah. What the blood clot?
And then he's like, oh no. And that's when he pulls a full Batman.
Swings right through that window.
That fight was excellent, but I don't know how 3 months of Taekwondo gets you that kind of level.
Right.
Master teacher.
His own, bro.
Hey, look, how crazy. Okay, for the ones that ever had a crazy girlfriend, how strong was that crazy girlfriend that y'all had? You know what I mean? Like how were they able to pick that up? That'll make no sense.
That wasn't a girlfriend, bro. That's all I'm saying. That might have been
or crazy people in our lives. We all had crazy people in our lives that had unbelievable strength in certain situations. Like how in the world did that happen? In this situation, it's like crazy. It's survival for him.
I think it's an anger thing too. You know what I mean? And when people get like into adrenaline pump, like anything is possible.
Yeah.
You got little 4-foot women picking up cars to save their kids.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Dude, but when she wakes up, she is way too calm. I want to add that in there. Like,
but we didn't even talk. Oh. We got to pull it back to the conversation because we didn't really break down the conversation that Heather, I keep wanting to call her Vanessa, Heather had with Muse or Sebastian. Like when he talks about, how he grew up and the party and his parents forced him to take
his parents
taekwondo.
Not noticing him.
Yeah.
He's like, I had this crazy dream. There was a big cake and my parents didn't notice me. And I'm like, you got some daddy issues, homie. Like everyone else in the MCU.
But like the way he was saying it, and then he like at first I was like, how does he know her? How does he know her so good? Because they didn't really do a good explanation of that until later in the episode where he goes, I read your books and I followed your stuff, so he's one of them psychopaths that think like the book was meant specifically for him.
Yeah, dude, he's got Charlie Manson written all over him.
Who are you kidding?
Yo, but remember, right after the book signing, she said that she was able to take him on as a client. So we don't know how many times, like he was going to her for help, going to her for her services. So if the show running has been for months, then he's been literally having one-on-ones with her for months. You know what I mean? So there's always going to be a little bit of that give and take. You can't just give me advice without telling me your story. So So a lot. I'm thinking like if there's months, it's months of her kind of revealing herself to him that she wants to show, and him taking it from there with the book and everything else. So yeah, I think he knew her enough in order for him to react that way, even though it may have been falsely, because there's only but so much that she's going to reveal to anybody.
Yeah, but
as
that
an
fight
advocate
scene-
for mental health and psychiatry, and I've seen quite a few, but you start talking to somebody, you do get comfortable after a while, and you do small talk, and I'm sure he may have read into small talk more than he should have.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Now we get into that fight scene.
Yes.
Dude, they dropped some cool Muse theme music, dude. It's got like this choir going in the background, like
It's really like ominous, man. Like it's
it's dope.
creepy.
Like I dig it. They definitely like stepped their
did.
soundtrack game off.
Yo,
but
he kept going after her no matter what.
Mhm.
He wanted her dead.
For sure.
And then
I mean,
Daredevil
because here's the thing, you
didn't
got to remember too, she knew his exact identity, who he was. You know what I mean? Like, so at that point, it was kind of like, all right, I have no choice. Like, I got to take you out and not to dinner.
Yeah, and he starts he's beating the crap. He punches him in the face like 6 times in a row. I'm like, jeez, it's gotta hurt. But then he goes after her, and out of nowhere, like he dropped the Mortal Kombat music, and Daredevil throws the baton like Scorpion right through his arm, and I'm like, get over here.
I didn't even see that coming, dude. It was just kind of like, oh, pop through his chest.
Yep.
And just pulls him back, and I'm like, oh, that was hot.
Yeah, dude. I was like, where's Shio Khan when you need him? Excellent.
yeah, I was like, get over here.
Finish him.
Exactly. That was dope.
And then she just pops him with 3 to the chest.
Yeah, dude. She don't even blink. She don't even look scared. She just does it.
And that's my thing, man. I feel like for her to do that with such ease, there's something behind the
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's definitely something with her.
Yeah, she
had perfect aim.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
3 to the chest,
you can't really miss
her mask.
2 feet ahead, bro. I'm just gonna say, if you do, we got bigger issues. But there was no shiver of like, oh, I just killed somebody afterwards.
Right.
You know what I mean? It was none of that.
She got cold with him
hospital.
before that too. When she was when right after like Muse cut her, she was like, you're just a coward in a mask. I'm like, don't talk to the guy who's got you tied up like that.
She's just antagonizing him even more.
Exactly.
Like, girl, you got a knife through your leg. You cool? You sitting there making it worse? You okay?
She's trying to get information for her book.
Yeah, part 2, right?
Dude, she about to get a mini series. Like this is a straight Lifetime movie now.
But she put 3 in him center mass.
Yup.
Yo, I really believe, and it's funny because I was thinking that too. I was like, okay, this stuff that's going on behind the scenes here, but with her that we just don't know. Because you're right, she was way too comfortable with all that. Example, I'm gonna use the same exact show, different network. How did Karen act after she killed that fist
in season 1
man in season 1? She's been weird ever since.
Mm-hmm.
Like even today, she show up and next
she is
episode,
a redhead.
She's gonna be weird. I really hate Karen. I hate her. Anyway,
well, she'll be back next season. So
that's a shame.
Oh, come on, Karen's great.
Yeah, to die.
No,
dude.
She's got to get addicted to heroin and have a baby first.
We'll take care of it. Don't worry about it.
She's absolutely terrible. Every time I'm sorry, go, Jose. Go.
No, go.
No, I was just going to say every time
I know.
Every time I see her, I think Biggie Smalls. Somebody got to die.
No, dude.
Somebody got to die. Every time I see her, like, why is she still alive in the show?
All right. We got 4 guys here. Poll: should Foggy have died, or should it have been Karen? I'm team Karen should have lived.
Really?
I think Foggy should have lived.
Yeah, dude. Foggy's got more sentimental value to Matt. That is like, you can't like.
I think Karen's a more interesting character. I don't know.
Yeah,
She's
in
just
the West Coast, she could stay over there.
Family.
dude. She
Foggy's
causes problems
coming back.
there.
How
She does.
dude, how interesting is she? She's not even in the show.
Not yet.
Like,
She'll
he
be
died.
back.
Foggy died. He was
Neither's
like,
Foggy. Foggy ain't in the show either, pal.
Hey, yo, guys,
He's coming
that's too
back.
soon, man.
He's coming back.
oh, you really think that's what's happening, Jose?
Yeah, I think they're
so.
gonna bring it back.
They're
I
gonna do
think
the
they think
electric
there's
thing.
death.
They're gonna do the electric thing, bring her
Yeah.
back. But it's Foggy.
Are we gonna get
Not
Sigourney Weaver and the building falling down?
Oh, God.
But let's cut to we see the task force assemble and like get to work.
Yeah, and you see Fisk go into her office.
Yeah, and they
wasn't
get there
expecting
like
him to
what
walk in
10
there.
seconds too late.
Well, then I mean, Fisk goes and tells the agent, he's like, yeah, you know, the anti-vigilante task force did an amazing job. Like, he's trying to make it seem like they did it, obviously. And the guy's just like, yes, sir. Yeah, great job. We did a great job. You know what I mean? And it's like, dang, he don't. Yeah, no, that's crazy.
Dude,
But
what that
leaves-
reminded me of, because of course it did, but that was like the complete opposite of the ending of The Dark Knight, where Batman's like, call it in, I killed those people for like the righteous reasons, and like Fisk is like, call it in for like all the wrong reasons. It's like, you killed those people.
You and your men did your job. You and your men stopped mused.
Giant harpoon to the chest.
It's not the hero we need right now, but the one we deserve.
I feel like we all got like really good Kingpin accents.
I think
No, they suck. They all suck. We think they're good in our heads.
That's fine by me.
I think mine's terrible, but it's cool.
Mine's is horrible. But that breaks us into my boy Daniel chilling with BB. Becoming
Yo, little
villain.
Tony Soprano, dude. Little Tony Soprano.
Like, you should make the right choice. You know, I want to see you make the right choice. All right, BB? I like you. I'm not a fucking scumbag.
Almost exactly, bro. Good job.
Yeah.
He's learning from his idol, man. He's just learning from this.
I called that. I'm sorry. I gotta say, I called that.
Mhm.
I said that like
Damn right,
episode 2.
dude.
I'm like, he's gonna be a villain. I'm like, I just know it. I can feel it. And he thought he was Fisk. He goes, BB, you know, you really screwed me over with that whole thing about the shipping yard. But with this one, I need your favor. I need a favor. You know, you said Daredevil killed him. Daredevil didn't kill him. Fisk got him killed.
And dude, she's trying to like throw him on his butt. She was like, you were on something and drunk and blah blah blah, and you were tripping. And he's like, it don't matter.
I'm not a fucking idiot.
Let me tell you something. And what made that whole entire thing so great, and Jose, man, you called it. It's, you know, he's shown his power. Now it's funny, the thing that would have killed him in the past, like, you know, his involvement with Kingpin would have killed him if he was Kingpin, not Mayor, right? He would be dead.
Yeah.
But that's one of the best things that probably happened to Kingpin in the future when it comes to this kid. You
He
know,
has someone he can trust.
yes, that has his back, that he can trust, besides Buck. Because Buck is
that dude.
Buck is a right hand man, dude.
We'll go into that next because that's the MC.
That's a whole nother.
But like, this kid is going to be a character, a villain. I don't know who yet. He might end up being like Tombstone or Chameleon, but he's gonna be a Spider-Man villain. I just
you see, Spider-Man.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
they need to find something for him.
Kingpin, Spider-Man's going into that Kingpin universe, in that Daredevil universe. It's all gonna be street level. They're gonna interact at some point. They're gonna bring. I think they'll bring Spider-Man after this next Secret Wars thing into street level character, and do more street level stuff to really push that. But yeah, this kid's he's gonna become some character in the Marvel universe. I just don't know who yet.
My deep dive pull is Stiltman. Anyone familiar with Stiltman? No?
I am not.
Oh, dude, the Daredevil has this crazy villain, and he's Stiltman, and he walks around on big stilts that are like as tall as a building. No,
This moment reminds me
of his character.
This reminds me of Kevin's character moment with Green Eyes. Who he is?
Stiltman is a big time character, big time Daredevil villain.
We go into the next scene with my girl in the green dress, Vanessa, sending that text, and she sends him exact text of his address. And that address has been used multiple times. Not that it's a big deal, but it's been used multiple times in Marvel. But she texts him in capital letters, he'll be there alone. She knows he's never alone.
Nope.
So that brings us to the question. Because our boy Buck shot a buck right through Luca.
Bro,
dude, that surprised me. It really did.
Crazy scene where I didn't even see him until he popped down. Like, oh shit!
No, neither did Luca.
Exactly. Bleep. Exactly.
Yeah, dude. When she sent that, I was like, oh no. I really thought like she had set him up, and I'm like, man, it's game over. Like I was like, Fisk is gonna kill him, but he's gonna be mad because if there's anybody who knows he's alone, it's gonna be her. But then, like, when he's like, order her the Don Perignon, get the ravioli for her.
For me, I didn't see that. I can see that either way, man. I can see that as she betrayed him and he's trying to play it off like, hey, I got you dinner, to act like he didn't know something. It's either that or they're on the same side. I'm in the middle of this, bro, because it was such a weird scene for me because it was like, she texted to him, blah, 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 gave him the details. And either she wanted him out or she wanted Fisk out. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't tell where her objectives are right now.
I'm on the same page with you, George. Who did she text? Luca or Fisk?
Why would she text the address? Why would she text Fisk the address if he was there?
No, she texts Luca.
She definitely texts Luca.
Okay, just want to be sure.
The motive for me is where I'm like lost because she could have had the motive of get Luca out, and that was the way to get Luca out. Or Luca succeeds and gets Fisk taken out. You know what I'm saying? Like, was she really trying to make a move on Fisk to be taken out?
Okay, so
they did that on purpose.
So, was it a setup for Luca to do what he needed to do, and Fisk already knew what was going on, or was it something that Fisk wasn't supposed to know what was going on, but he's always prepared? That's where the question is going to come in.
See, that's where
I think it's totally they're on the same page because I think Fisk is going to start trying to take all the guys out that are kind of giving him problems so she can take back over.
Okay.
He's going to eventually give her what she wants.
There's no way Vanessa would ever betray Fisk.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
She is loyal. That's a ride or die chick. She is not betraying Fisk. She needed to take Luca out the way because Luca was getting messy and Luca was messing shit up for her because Fisk has a bigger plan in the scheme of things. She knows he does. I truly feel that in my heart, that she set Luca up to get killed. Mm-hmm. She told Kingpin that, yeah, Luca wants you gone. Mm-hmm. It's a game for her just as much as it is for Kingpin. She loves the power.
Oh man, I'm still on the fence about that though. I see where you're coming from, but I really do feel like there's something like because there's been a disconnect since Fisk became mayor, and she's even said it in the therapy sessions she had. You left me, and I feel like there's some type of like animosity to his movements, and she's taking it out on him now. You know what I mean? Or she knows Fisk has the dude hidden, and she's trying to take that out on him that way. Like, I don't know. That could be me just digging in a little bit too deep. But I feel like I feel like I'm either way on that part.
I think Marvel did exactly what they wanted to do, and they split America 50-50.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
All along, like, it's
team
got
Vanessa,
people
team
talking.
Fisk?
Yeah, like it's got everyone talking. Like, we're sitting here, and this is our biggest ponder of the whole episode. Everything was pretty much clear cut except for this.
Yeah,
bingo.
Everything was clear cut. We knew exactly what was going to happen for the most part. You know, it was clear cut. There wasn't no questions left unanswered. Well, maybe two, but like this is one, you know. And my last point will bring me to the next one. But no, I think they did a great job of ending it like that. But you know, when Matt was in the hospital with Heather, when Fisk simultaneously does, you know, we killed Muse, you know, and the cop pulls up the mask of Muse, and he's with Vanessa. You know, what did y'all think about that whole interaction with him with Vanessa? Heather.
With Matt and Heather, dude, there's some kind of disconnect there. There's something she knows what's going on.
She heard Daredevil say her name, and I think she's starting to put the pieces together. He's going out late. He's got bruises. You know what I mean? He seems like he's mentally separated from stuff sometimes. I think she's starting to put the pieces together. She's not stupid. She's a smart woman. And I feel like she's getting the idea of like, okay, maybe he's Daredevil. Because again, it goes to the conversation she had with him in another episode, asking about Frank Castle, asking about different vigilantes. You know what I mean? Why would he know it besides the fact that he's a lawyer for these guys? Maybe because he's Daredevil. So I think she's starting to put the pieces together. What is happening?
I think you're getting a
audience reaction. I think you're I think you're 100% correct. I think you hit the nail on the head. She ain't stupid. She's very smart. She's putting two and two together. There's just too many coincidences. The bang, the bruises, his mind not being right, his life being fake, between his past life and his new life. She's putting the pieces of the puzzle together, and she's figuring out. My question, and this is the question that I thought I'm stretching on, that I brought up in the beginning of the show. Is there a possibility that Vanessa becomes the next Muse? With her PTSD, her knowledge, her psychiatric background, could she become a villain?
You mean Heather?
You're talking about Heather?
Heather. I'm sorry. Too many women in the show.
Yeah, there is.
But not complaining.
Vanessa. No,
I don't know. It could be. What's sticking out in my head is her disdain for like vigilantes and masks, which is kind of like makes me think how she's going to view Matt going forward, but also like I don't know if she would throw a mask on just because she thinks people throw masks on are cowards. But she might be. I would look. There's a lot of stuff that Muse can still do. I'm a little sad he's dead. Like I feel like they kind of
somebody else will be somebody might pick up the mantle.
Yeah, I'd love to see like copycats. That'd be dope. I mean, shoot, go to Harbor Freight, buy some tarps, get yourself an outfit. You'd be good.
Buy some epoxy, you know.
Yep. I mean, but yeah, I would love to see Muse too. Definitely.
Sounds like a sequel.
Like this time it's personal.
Sound like a Pokemon. Muse too.
There's Mewtwo.
Yeah. Muse too.
But that was just one of the things. Like I was like, someone else is has to pick up the mantle of Muse, because there's always a copycat. But I don't know if she becomes Muse or she just becomes some type of anti-vigilante or just hates vigilantes and go, even though Daredevil saved her life. There's a story within this story with Vanessa, with Heather, and I just can't there's just something off about her, and
Something's
I can't
definitely
pinpoint what.
something ain't adding up with that lady for sure.
No.
Can I a what if? And I'm not saying that this is a theory, but just a what if. What if, because we don't know her history, we don't know her, her origin story, where exactly she came from. All we know is that Matt got hooked up by his lawyer partner, and that's how they got together, right? That's all we know. But like, what if, just in case, let's say that she was a SHIELD agent. And I'm just putting it out there, just put it out there. So let's just say that at one time she was a SHIELD agent. And at that time, SHIELD agents always showed their faces. They always was, the ones that's kind of stepping in and doing stuff right in the open. And the ones that was always doing something wrong was the one that always had masks on that they had to go ahead and fix and clean up and try to like solve and stop, right? So now that she's a civilian, because SHIELD is now gone, now she's doing the job that she is. But now that would make sense to me of why she put 3 shots in the man and then flinch. Why why she was sitting down in that chair and had no, like, she was getting cut up and she was just like, whatever, you're a punk, you ain't gonna do nothing, blah blah blah. It's like, she has a little bit more gusto and stuff like that because she's been through something. Because
she's from the Red Room.
Can you imagine?
I see that.
Yeah, can you imagine?
You never know with Marvel, man.
You never know. So with that being said, makes you wonder, like, what exactly is her origins? I don't foresee bad, but in the same token, like maybe her piecing together that Matt's Daredevil. Hopefully, we get that in the next episode. If she figure out that Matt is Daredevil, what if that changes her whole entire outlook of people wearing masks now?
And that was going to be my next point, because I don't think she's going to figure out that Matt's Daredevil. I think Fisk is going to out Matt's Daredevil, and everybody's going to be like, oh, the pieces of the puzzle fit, the bank fits, the bruises fit. The Matt saying to Angela that someone will take care of it. Daredevil showed up when, I was getting the life sucked out of me. Daredevil showed up when Heather was going to die because she was cut up. Like, his lawyer friend, what's her name? I don't remember right now, but she's going to put two and two together. She's going to put two and together. The cops that he whooped their ass, Powell, he's going to put two and together. The blind lawyer, that's how he whooped our ass. Fisk is going to out him because he came back out. By the end of this episode, it will end with like a Spider-Man movie where it's Peter Parker with Mysterio. Mm-hmm. The same exact thing's going to happen. And it's going to end with everybody's like, oh shit, Matt Murdock's Daredevil. Cliffhanger for the next season.
Yeah.
I can see that.
I can see that too. Mm-hmm. I can see it too.
And that's not a spoiler. That's not a prediction. That's a spoiler. I like that.
We're holding you to that. Putting some money up.
Well, that was one of the big things. I think it was in the Ed Brubaker run from the mid 2005, 2007-ish, was Matt came out as Daredevil. He was completely outed. And he had to like kind of backtrack on his name a little bit. And I think he went to prison and stuff. Not that he didn't go to prison in this, but it'd definitely be interesting to see him get outed as Daredevil.
Interesting. I like that.
I mean, shoot. Yeah, I think Matt becomes the Kingpin at one point. Not shortly after that
story. I think you're going to see a more angry Matt and vengeful Matt.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he should be donning that black suit next season.
Oh yeah.
The black.
Well, he's going to go into from what we saw with the picture with him and Cameron wearing hoodies. Yeah, that picture.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And we saw the picture of him in the streets with Karen with the red hair and him wearing a hoodie. He's running. He's in disguise.
Mm-hmm. Witness protection almost. Like, he's doing something.
So I think that's how this season will end and set up for season 2, which is being shot right now.
That's a great piece together right there.
Yeah.
Him getting exploited and then having to be on the run next season. I think he's gonna have to fight the vigilante team next season, and he's gonna have to find people to help him.
Yeah, he's gonna have to. I think obviously you're gonna have Frank. Foggy will come back dressed up as somebody else. Psych. But you'll have Frank. You'll probably have She-Hulk. The Defenders. You might even get some other Defenders. You might get Luke Cage.
Jessica Jones.
Just because.
Calm down, Mike.
Why?
They might introduce some newer.
It's Jessica Jones.
Because you can bring in Hawkeye. He's street level. You know, you can
bring in Power Man, bring in all of them.
Wonder Man's coming.
Give me Zorro.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Wonder Man's coming.
The freaking sword guy.
Swordmaster.
The swordsman. The swordsman will be ripping up looking like Zorro.
Yeah, give me Zorro.
Until they kill
him his purple costume. Start your petition now. I want 100,000 signatures. Swordsman in his purple and pink costume.
And Hawkeye with his purple costume. That would look
bingo,
so great.
Dude. They look exactly the same.
Yeah.
Let's start by getting 10,000 followers. Let's start with that one.
Well, this is a good way to do it.
Yeah,
but overall, what was your guys' opinion of this show? This episode 7. We only have 2
another
left, guys.
Solid episode.
Solid, bro. So good.
They keep raising the bar, man. Keep raising the bar.
I think every episode has been like an 8.5, 9. 8. Every single episode has been
even the filler.
Yeah.
Yes.
Even y'all call it a filler, man. That is not a filler.
That's an old script. I'm telling you, that's an old script.
I knew I was gonna get that reaction, George. I knew I was.
Y'all call it fillers. I call it magic.
It was a magical filler.
It was slow, you know. Imagination. No, I think the season has been phenomenal. I'm excited for these next 2 episodes, man. Especially what Jose was just saying about this possibility of Fisk putting Matt's dirty laundry out there. Like, it's gonna be interesting to see how this turn of events happens, because now with Fisk knowing Daredevil was involved again, you know, where are we going with this? Because is Fisk going to be coming up to Matt Murdock in next episode and be like, yo, bro, like, what happened? I thought we said you were going to be off the streets. You know what I mean? You know, are we going to get that interaction, or are we going to have it where they're just knocking each other out? What's going to happen?
Resolve it with an 80s battle dance, personally.
Let me get that. Electric Boogaloo style, bro.
But the next episode is going to... The last 2 episodes... We're going to have a lot to talk about, gentlemen. A lot to talk about.
Now, it is 1 episode per week. Or are we getting 2 next week?
I hope it's 1 per week. I hope
so too. I want to drag this out as much as possible.
I think it's 1, actually.
But that last episode got to be over an hour long.
Oh,
like, it's going to have to be
They're not, dude.
Long.
They're only 45 minutes with the credits. So you're talking maybe 40 minutes.
Just cut the credits and add some film.
And like, because I noticed that because the first one starts off, it's like 56 minutes, and they all start like tapering down, and the last 2 have been like 45 minutes, and I'm like, man. But you know what? I only noticed that because I just happened to look, because I was like, I don't have a lot of time, because it was like, I don't know, almost midnight last night by the time I started watching it, and I was like, man, I got to get to bed soon. But I was like, okay, it's only 45 minutes. But all the other shows, I was always like, these feel really quick and they don't feel good. This feels perfectly paced. It feels packed. There's no filler. There's no fluff. It is
Mike,
down to
no
business.
Fillers.
Oh, see?
Had to do it.
So it's a solid season. I'd say this one probably sits at an 8.5 for me.
Nice.
Out of 10.
Take us home, Cap.
Look, the suspense of this show was amazing, as always. I mean, it's like just building. It's just building. It's just building. And man, how lucky are we? I mean, we've been plotting on Daredevil for years,
bro.
years, and for
10
us
years.
to finally get what we was asking for and to be good, absolutely amazing. So no,
Dude, this show jumped from Netflix to Disney. That is a miracle in itself.
They didn't skip a beat, I feel like, too.
I agree.
They improved.
Yeah,
I definitely agree. And
we expected the worst.
We was hoping for the best, expecting the worst. Absolutely.
I sure was.
And as soon as Foggy died, we was like, oh, this is what it's going to be. Like, oh,
that's why that first episode was 56 minutes long. They had to do that whole intro with Foggy, and then the episode started.
Yeah. 1 year later, like, holy crap!
It's like, wait, the episode's still going?
Yes. Yeah.
I can't wait to binge watch this show once it's all out, and I can binge watch it in one sitting, and then we can recap the entire season.
I'm down for that.
Can't wait.
Go for it.
Can't wait.
It's going to be fantastic. But you know what else is going to be fantastic? Jose, you have a special day coming up real soon. I think it's about time for us to go ahead and talk about your special day.
Right. It's Saturday, May 3rd, guys. Free Comic Book Day is almost here. We are exactly 1 month away today from Free Comic Book Day, and we made our first announcement this past Monday of 3 special guests that we're going to have here for Free Comic Book Day, along with all the free comic books. We're going to have 3 special guests with more to be announced. But yeah, we're going to have here. We're going to have Erica Schultz, who is from Marvel. She writes currently. She is writing Laura Kinney Wolverine. She's done Daredevil Unleash Hell, and she's also done Spawn Rat City, which is an awesome futuristic Spawn book. It's awesome. Volume 1 is in the shop now, so come pick it up. And Laura Kinney Wolverine is also in the shop. We're also going to have Tori Hill. Tori Hill will be here. He's a local artist from Philly, comic book writer, self-published. He has the network. Really good read, guys. We have it in stock here. Come pick it up. Meet him. Get some autograph. Ask him some questions. This dude is so passionate about what he does and his love for this book and the story behind it. If you talk to him for 2 minutes, you will fall in love and you would want to buy his book and support the guy, because he is self-published and he's doing great. And last but not least, we have Anthony Bartolucci, who is a local comic. Funny, he was a comic, like stand-up comic at one point, and decided to go the other route with comic books. And he's published his own on here. His comedy is in his books. Like, these are dope books. Kids will not read these and wouldn't understand them. Nut Jobs is about potato chips versus peanuts. And I know, like, what the hell? Demon Nun is hilarious. This is the latest book he just published, self-published, but fantastic guys. These 3 people have so much love and passion for the business and comic books, and just bringing joy to people's faces through the art and through the writing. It's awesome, and I will support these guys, for as long as I can. And you guys should come out, meet them, have a conversation, get a few books signed, and just say hi and come get your free comic books. But that's our first announcement for Free Comic Book Day. It's going to be Saturday, May 3rd, first Saturday of every May. It's Free Comic Book Day nationwide. But here at Baby Gorilla, we'll be having it from 12 to 7. We'll have more announcements coming up every Monday, and we'll announce it here on GNT also. But yeah, cannot wait for this. So excited. Love this.
Hey, Jose, where exactly can you find Baby Gorilla Comics?
Baby Gorilla Comics is located Pendle, PA, 424 West Lincoln Highway, Suite 203 in Pendle, PA, 19047.
Very good, Jose.
He got his announcer voice for that one.
Yeah, you heard it. You heard it?
Mr. Movie Phone over here.
Now, I will go ahead and put in a personal plug. Tory Hill is an amazing individual.
Awesome guy.
All right, put
That he
it up.
is.
Tory Hill, you, my friend, are an amazing individual. To just hear his testimony, we're not going to go into it. To just hear that man's testimony and what he's been through in order for him to be the man that he is today. Oh my God, Tory Hill, you already know how G&T feel about you, bro. Yo, you're the man, seriously. And to be able to actually see, get to know him like in person, to know more about his story, and to actually see his comic, amazing work. The Network is an amazing book, and to know that it's continuing, oh my goodness. So just seeing him there, just having him there by itself is enough. And then you have these other renowned artists that's coming. So no, what an amazing day. May 3rd. Got to be there. You have to be
The
there.
Network. It's a little bit of the Matrix. It's a little bit of Spawn dripped in there, and so yeah, it reads great. I've read through it a couple times now. It's good stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. And him as an artist is just bananas too, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like absolutely.
Dude, the way he uses like neon colors and stuff, like, dude, I love just even flipping through that book is I have a poster at my house. It's the cover of the thing, but it's got the big monkey god thing, whatever it is, and it's got the neon blues and the pinks in it. And I was talking to him, he's like, I wasn't sure about that, and I'm like, dude, it's like one of your defining traits in your art. It's amazing. I love it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he is so passionate, and I wish him nothing but the best, because he has great art, and he's a great person. He's a great being.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And those are hard to come by nowadays. So yeah, come say hi, have a conversation. Rita's is right next door. They'll be open, so get some water ice. I can't pay for it, but you can.
Don't eat water ice and read comic books.
Do no things.
just not at the same time, people.
Yeah, don't go
and start reading the book.
Yeah, don't.
I might run across the parking lot like, no.
Not the gelato. So anyway, yeah, so May 3rd, free comic book day, tons of sales, tons of comic books that's there. The box is going to be on the ready. And then one of the biggest things ever is that your Geeks at the Nerd Table will be there as well, all set up, having a pod there, interacting with everyone out there as well, just to add on to the fun. So, hey, come on out, join us May 3rd, Pendle, PA. All this will be all broadcasted on all of our social medias. So the only thing that's going to be missing is nothing. So because you're going to be there. So if you're there, then everybody needs to be there. So be there. All right. So let's go ahead and close this thing out. Guys. George.
Hello there.
Close out time, baby.
Yo. So yeah, glad I got to hop in with you guys last minute. Work being what it was. But yeah, great episode. Can't wait to talk to you guys about Daredevil 8 and 9 in the next 2 weeks. So yeah, just keep tuning in to us. Socials, like, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. And we'll catch you on the next one.
2 episodes left. Does Dr. Glenn make it out alive, or does Vanessa make it out alive? We'll see. I'm calling it now. I don't know who it is.
Good answer.
2 episodes. It's bittersweet. Like, I don't know how to feel. Like, I'm kind of sad and torn because I really love this show, and but I can't wait to sit back here at the table and pull up a chair with you guys and discuss episode 8 and enjoy the ride while it's here, guys. So I look forward to seeing you guys next week.
As always, we want to thank y'all so much for tuning in. Don't forget, as always, as I post this up, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, because without y'all, this channel could not grow. And we need to grow because we can't be babies no more.
1,000 followers.
Yeah, we have to grow. So please don't forget to like,
baby.
subscribe. Yeah, I mean, look, we may have a baby gorilla here, but But other than that, that's going to be the only baby is going to be around. So once again, please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. We appreciate every single one of y'all. Until next time, we are out. Peace.
Adios.